and welcome to my channel, Reviews with Jules. Today I'm going to be reviewing Netflix's limited series, The Queen's Gambit. So let's hop straight into it. The Queen's Gambit is a coming-of-age drama. There are 7 episodes of 60 minutes and it's available on Netflix. The series opens with a tragic car accident which leaves Beth Harmon an orphan. Now she goes to an orphanage and she goes down to the basement which she finds a janitor playing chess. Now very intrigued by this, she then asks to play. And then basically he takes her under a wing to become her prodigy. But not only that, back in the 50s, which is when this is set, they were giving these orphan kids these like pills to suppress them. They're like tranquilizers, like you're tranquilizing a kid. What the hell, man? She starts getting addicted to these tranquilizers and starts hallucinating with chessboards on the ceiling, which makes it seem like it's helping with her genius because she then becomes a sort of child prodigy for chess playing. Later on, we fast forward to her teens, so this happens between the sort of 50s and 60s, and she then gets adopted. So Beth then starts going to like ordinary school and stuff and tries to fit in, but she doesn't really, and then she thinks, well, I'm just going to go off and do chess tournaments. Now, the mother realises that she actually can win some prizes and Beth is really good at it. So she starts calling in being like, oh, by the way, she's ill. Oh, she's, not feeling very well. She got her period. Like, whatever excuse she could. So that they could travel the world and go to these tournaments. Now, later on, the mum does unfortunately pass away, which obviously takes Beth into some sort of turmoil again because she's not just lost one mother, she's lost 2. But she also seeks sort of comfort in drink, in her tranquilizer drugs, as well as the comfort of other male chess players, which we see her get very comfortable with at a very early age. Now, later on, we then see her go to Russia, and the whole series is building up to this massive Russian tournament because the person who has been the world champion for many years has been a Russian and is yet to be defeated. But then that's when the series finishes because, spoiler alert, Beth wins the tournament. Anya Taylor-Joy is astounding in this. She is literally a joy to watch. I literally loved her performance, and if you don't recognise her in this, because it took me a while, I had to Google it, she's actually the same actress in The Witch, in Split, in Emma, and most recently New Mutants, which didn't get a very good write-up. So I definitely think she has recovered from that. But even though she's been in these films and has also done an equally amazing performance, and she is definitely an upcoming talent, I think the popularity of The Queen's Gambit will definitely be the making of her. I love the aesthetic. It is so beautiful and so easy on the eyes. The cinematography was amazing. I mean, it's all set in the 50s and 60s, so you really get a sense of this sort of period aesthetic going all the way through. The episodes were so nicely paced that I didn't even realise I was kind of going into the next episode and that they were an hour long, and I think that's such a credit to the storytelling and the direction of it, as well as the performances. Like, everything about it was just so seamless, I think is the best word to describe it. Now, I would say that there are a couple of things that did kind of stick in my head that I was kind of a bit on the fence about with this series, one of which being the fact of how much they emphasised that she was a female in this field. Really, it kind of felt like it impacted it so much that I was just kind of like, okay, we get that she's a woman. But on the other side, I do understand why they sort of emphasised that. It is the 1950s and 60s when women were seen rather than heard and housewives instead of world champion chess players. So obviously for that reason as well, I can understand it. So the other thing that I have quite a qualm with, yes, I used the word qualm, it's not used enough. The drinking drugs was something I was really on the fence about because on one hand it didn't detract away from the story because it was still about a woman, it was still about a chess champion, a child prodigy, sort of going out there and becoming world champion. That, it didn't change that. However, the drink and drugs did affect that, and from a feminist point of view, it sort of showed that at some points, especially in a sort of teenage life, especially as she was grieving for parents and she was getting very lonely, it kind of made it look like that women cannot be successful and have working relationships without other things getting in the way. I'm glad towards the end they showed her stopping the substances, because then it sort of showed that she is a genius at her core. Great aesthetic, great performances, and terrific storyline. However, from a feminist scholar point of view, there were some issues with feminism, such as the drink, the drugs, and the emphasis of her being a female too much. But because I loved The Queen's Gambit so much, I gave it 4 Jules. If you liked the series, I definitely want to hear about it in the comment box below. And if you tune in on my channel on Thursday, I have a watch list of all the things that I have been watching in the last 3 months. Now, this is a really extensive list and has some great recommendations in there for you if you're wondering what to watch. So definitely tune into that on Thursday at 12. And in the meantime, you can check out these reviews right over here.